I should be back. Hold on, I should be back. Alright, I should be back. Ad break starts in, hold on, we're gonna dismiss that. News that because we just... Yeah, that's what I thought it was, but I didn't realize it was getting... Of course, I haven't heard much about it because I don't follow the news, right? So, I try to be oblivious to some of that stuff because I'm so tired of the BS. Not to make light of it, right? But it's just... I'm just trying not to pay attention to some of it. I like to think that I live in some roses. Even though it's not roses. And I'm gonna cry because it's not roses. Yeah, I listen to, yeah, I kind of listen to a YouTube short that's kind of... Well, Joe Rogan's got these YouTube shorts where he goes, something like it would be like, it starts out like, did he really say that? And then it goes into goes back and plays something that somebody said in like, in whatever interview or whatever, and some of them have been pretty crazy, right? And yes, and I was like, wow, you know, and it's kind of like a mindset too. But like I said before, at some point, it's going to get ugly. Some of stuff's going to get really ugly. And we'll go, and the world will go back to segregated countries. Hurry, hurry, hurry. First. Alright, one day I was in Manhattan with my daughter. We were shopping in an area of the courthouse. A couple came up to us and said their witness had bailed on them and they needed someone ASAP to get married. So we were like, sure. Came back from dinner, wife's or island still 4-star. Nice. Why would your island change? So what was the other part of that? They had an 11-year-old daughter with them. It was the wife's daughter. Okay. Alright, I'm waiting for the rest of the story. So were you witnesses to this wedding or what? Molly disappeared, you come back? What? Where'd Molly go? Or Molly's kind of snooping. Don't be going through a bunch of stuff snooping. You don't need that crap. Let's go get ice cream. You're interested. Yeah, but you don't need to put yourself through that trauma. You don't need to know anything. Don't be digging. That just puts you in more trauma. I sat with her a long time waiting. She was from a Muslim country. She said they were, hold on, that's going too fast now. Hold on. They were hiding from her father. It also said it was nothing to see people hung killing street kids would have their right hand. Yeah, honor killings and stuff. Yeah. I'm not traumatized, right? Alright, but you're interested. I'm the same way, Molly. I drive me. Right, but the whole thing is, if you've already seen the picture and you know that there's other things involved, why would you want to know more history about it? Isn't that just adding more to the, you know, what are you trying to justify why you're not with or what? I mean, you already know the basics. Why get any deeper involved? Come on, that's BS. Oh, I'm pretty good at reading stuff and doing stuff. Oh, there it is. Both the ladies said what I already knew the answer was coming. I like the gossip. There it was, right there. I knew that was coming. I was like, they just want the Jerry Springer version of this stuff. Jesus Christ, here it comes. Oh my God. All right. Yeah, you can gossip. Yeah, all right. I'll just shut up. I get it. I don't gossip. I get it. And when mommy was kissing Santa Claus, that's all you need to know. You don't need to know what else happened that night. Just forget about it. It's not worth it. We all know she wanted diamonds. Hey, Snorlax. Well, we know it's not worth it, but gossip is gossip, and you're gonna do it. It's built in your system. Girls like to gossip, and you can't stop that. And then they blame boys for doing whatever, and it ain't the boys. Girls gossip. No, nobody said anything about telling people. I'm just saying girls gossip. You like gossip. It's I don't mean like you're going out and telling people. I mean just girls gossip. And girls love to gossip. And they love getting into gossip. It's yeah, there's that too. It's not gossip, it's fact. Yeah, at least my social worker will be happy I made a list and I got through half of it. And then I realized she said to put items on here that were like a SMART goal. And cleaning the dining room isn't a SMART goal because it's not something that I can do in a short amount of time. Like clean off and shred paper. I've got so much paper, it's going to take me months. That's not a SMART goal. I'm better off just saying, take a razor blade to my head and shave my dome. Not gonna happen. But I am gonna have to get a haircut. I'm losing hair at an exceptionally alarming fast rate. And the gossip part isn't whether or not it's fact. If it is a fact, the gossip part is the fact that you told somebody. It's not the fact that it actually happened. It's the fact that it went around. Correct? Not the fact that you looked it up just to see if it was true. It's the fact that right, and that's not gossip, right? That part's not gossip. If they posted it or you're looking at it, that's not gossip, right? That's just you looking something up. The gossip part would be the fact that if you were telling somebody about it, that would be the gossip, correct? Oh, and Bean said she loved you, by the way. Or tell you she loved you, by the way. If you scroll up. Well, no, but here's the question. And this is where I'm kind of getting lost with the word gossip. Right, but even if you look something up and that was posted publicly and you start gossiping about other people's business, you're gossiping, right? Or is it oh, did you know so-and-so did this? And it's not gossip because it's, I'm trying to figure out the term gossip and how that applies. So it's not gossip because anybody has access to the information. A goal, pick up and throw away obvious trash first. 2, all paperwork and old mail put in a box, put aside to review later. 3, take other boxes or trashes or laundry baskets, start going through everything and have keep a pile, donate pile, pitch pile. If I have more steps, but those are a good starter. Man, that's confusing. That's so much stuff. Why can't I just go through a pile and chuck it, fix it right then and there? Right, but you said he's still looking at your socials or going through your socials. How would you know that? Like, how would you know he's doing that? I'm totally confused, like in the all sense of things. Because I don't have socials, so I don't understand how socials work. Like, is it a tracking device? So this guy's posting things with his girlfriend that they're doing this, and then he's still going through your socials? That doesn't make any sense, man. That's confusing as all hell. So if he's doing, okay, so hold on. So back to my earlier trauma with his lie. If he's doing this and he's already in post with other women with kids, I don't think that his woman left him because she was the cheater. Because I think he's keeping options open and he plays the field. I think it's the other way around. I still think it's the other way around. Yeah, I'm telling you, there's something weird with this dude. Totally weird. I think he's the cheater and got caught. He's just telling you that she was the cheater so he could still play the field. That's BS. But anyway, oh man, the drama. On a Thursday night, I'm gonna need a drink of Gatorade. I can't drink anymore. I'll let my Cody have the few for me, because I can't have them. Did you look up where to catch walking sticks? Can you even catch a walking stick in your time frame? Don't you have to have certain walking sticks are only in flowers or something? Or they're only on tree stumps? Start making some tree stumps? Look that up, actually. Let's look that up. Walking sticks. You want... Oh, do I have a walking stick? Wait, do you want a mantis? Wrong game. Oh, you're in Sims. Oh, well, yeah, I don't care. Just put in the mod and get the sexy people. That game. You know, if I started to get into Sims now, I'd be in trouble. Let me tell you. I'm one of those completionist kind of weirdos. I'd have to have like 5 wives, 5 families. You know, each expansion would be something different. I'd be broke trying to play that game. Oh, let me tell you. Yeah, this game you don't marry anybody though. I can date them all. I don't have to worry about it. None of them are going to come after me. And then they move. They willingly move away on their own. And then I get new ones. Of course, that's all a joke. Don't take that. That's not the way Gigi is. It's a joke. Yeah, wait till you have to pick up In Zoai or whatever that new game is. That game's a little bit too graphic. Man, you're gonna have virtual affairs on real people in that crap. It's gonna be crazy. How many people are gonna get in trouble? And wait till they say, "Oh, you can play it in VR," and then it's like, "Oh, it's over." I mean, I've watched some streamers already build families and love interests in that game, and I'm like, "You're crossing lines." You're in real life, you're crossing lines. It's like, hold on here. Yeah, you know what's it's interesting too, because I'm thinking about that, right? Like you're saying, find a love interest or something. And then I look at it in my situation. I'm a streamer. It's going to be hard for me to find a love interest who's not going to be mad that I'm not talking to a bunch of people all the time. I'm a streamer. I stream every day. I'm not going to stop that. That's what I do. You know, my next love interest is going to have to suck that one up. I mean, if you look at my community, they're 90% women, and then I've got Kelt and Dark. Oh, and Bob and Shenanigans, and then they're all women. I'm talking to all women. I'm going to get in trouble every time. Well, who are you talking to tonight? Well, I'm a streamer. I'm going to talk to whoever pops in. Only if they can do video editing. Because then they can do my video editing, and I don't care. It'd be like a business relationship then. It'd be like, sure, let's do it. Careful now. See, that'd be different because Molly's a founder. Hold on now. Slow down. Molly knows all my secrets. She's known me forever. Plus, Molly's too old for me. I can't do that. What? Hey, if you got a daddy complex, that works for me. I don't... Whatever. It's all good. I have no idea what I'm looking for. I know how old you are. I'm just teasing. I don't know. I haven't even thought about that process. Ask me again after I have a lightsaber, and then we'll talk. I haven't even thought about it. You know, like my friend asked me the same thing, and I said, you know what? I don't care. My wife was older than me. I don't really care. Age to me is a number. I don't care. As long as they're, I would say they'd have to be older than 25, past university. Because I can't do somebody fresh out of high school that doesn't have a brain cell. That's not working for me. Because I'm an intellectual person with 3 degrees. I'm not sitting here talking to somebody that I'd have to give a baby bottle to. That's not happening for me. I'm in my 40s. I'm still young. I'm a baby. As they tell me at the cancer center. I shouldn't have this illness for another 30 years, they tell me. I just got stuck. But yeah, well, I'm not that far behind you. But I am older. I am the oldest of the bunch. It's kind of funny too, because if you look at like Bob and Shenanigans, you go to their channel and look at them, I'm older than those 2 clowns. And it's like, what? All right, cool. But no, and my birthday's in July, so I'm having a birthday party for myself, which I'll probably be doing at St. Jude's, streaming again this year, raising money for St. Jude's children cancer therapy stuff. But yeah, like I haven't seriously thought about it, right? Like, but I'm at the point of life where, like, you know, I'm gonna go back to work, I'm gonna do whatever, and I don't care whether I'm dating somebody here, there, wherever. You know, I can travel, I don't care. I don't know if I like doing Amazon wish list, because some people, I don't know if I feel comfortable. I'm kind of weird like that. Like, somebody asked me if I was going to have a throne as well, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to tell people, hey, buy me this. Like, I would feel bad, because if it was like, say I put a Lego set on there or something that I like, I don't want people to buy me that. It costs too much money. Worry about economics and family stuff before you send me stuff. You know? And no, I don't want everybody sending me inflatable stuff. You know, not happening. You know, I'd worry after listening to some stuff I heard in streams earlier this morning. No, not yet. That's the other problem. I haven't got a P.O. box. I have to go do that. Because I've already mailed some stuff out from my personal address, and you know, I don't know if I'm not comfortable doing that. So I have to do that, but I probably won't do that before my birthday. I might do that, but I don't know. But it's one of those, like, I haven't, and birthday's not relevant to me. Ask me in a year when I'm a year past this cancer crap, then it might be relevant to me. But like, you know, like I haven't thought about it, right? Like dating, whatever. That hasn't crossed my mind. At some point though, I will. You know, and like I said, age to me, I don't care. I just don't want, I think the only thing I don't want is I don't want the baggage. I don't want to deal with somebody who's got, you know, been divorced 3 times, got 10 kids, whatever. I'm not doing that. You know, I would rather, you know, somebody say, oh, here, you know, why don't, you know, I know this friend, she's a little off, you know, she's a good kid, you know, whatever, and I'm okay with that, because I can handle that kind of stuff. But I don't think I want to deal with Like, oh, you've been divorced 3 times, you got 3 kids. I'm not dealing with somebody else's kids. They're not my kids. I can still have kids. I'm still young enough to have kids. I'm not dealing with your kids. You know, and then they're like, oh, who are you? Well, I'm your daddy, dummy. You know, I'm like, I'm not going down that road, right? It's like, forget it. And then it's kind of one of those too. I'm in that situation where like, I'm okay if I meet somebody and they want to have a career, right? Have a career. I will be here. I will be home at nights. I will be whatever. No drama. You do your career. We can have kids later, whatever or not. I don't care. I'm okay with that, right? Like I'm flexible, you know. You want to travel? Let's travel. I really don't care. I'm flexible. I haven't seriously thought about it. You know, because I'm looking back, well, I'm going to go back to work and whatever, so I can do whatever. And I don't know where my job's going to end up because I can take a job anywhere. You know, I'd love to take it overseas in Europe or England or whatever. You know, and teach some people how to actually have beans and hot dogs in them. Because what they call beans ain't beans without the wieners in them, you know. But no, I'm just kidding. But you know what I mean? Like I still can work another 20, 30 years, be fine, right? Like I'm not sweating it. Like one of my friends said, well, why don't you work a computer job in California? You know, work from home. And I'm like, well, I could literally do that. I could and travel. I mean, I don't mind. You know, it's like, oh, I got to travel to work for a month. Sure, I'll fly in, spend a month at a hotel and come back. I'm not tied down, right? I have no restrictions on my life, right? Like I'm not tied down to anything, anywhere, anyone, right? I'm free and clear. So I have no baggage, right? So then when I look at like, who do I want to date? Well, I'd like to have someone without baggage, you know, somebody who's independent, you know, needs to snuggle once in a while, you know, more companionship based kind of guess, but can function, you know, if I'm not there for a week, if I'm over here for a week, and then, you know, whatever, functions just fine. But I'll be on the phone every day because I can't function. I think I'm codependent more than the other person half the time. You know, but as you've watched me stream for the months, I'm a little loopy, I'm a little crazy, I'm a little eccentric, you know. You know, I mean, what guy lets his hair grow out and doesn't shave, doesn't give a crap, you know? I mean, this guy, I dye my hair purple, I really don't care, you know? It's just, I don't. You know, I'm not trying to impress anybody, you know, and you get what you get what you see. But I'm a lean 140, and when it's all said and done, after this all treatment, it's just bulk up, get back into, you know, working out in a body shape. Hey, I'm gonna have that dad bod, and I get to start smaller than I did bigger. I'm not going from 200 trying to get down. I'm going from 140 trying to bulk up, which is a lot easier to do. And oh my God, I'm gonna be able to pull that one off, so I'll look good. Oh yeah, I'd be lucky to hit 140, you know, and that's what I mean. Like for me, it's like I haven't seriously thought about it, right? Like, and to me, it's like I haven't thought of like, you know, type of girl, whatever, race, whatever. The only thing I know is I like brunettes. That's typically I've always have it. I will favor brunettes over everything else. That's just the way it is. Of course, then, you know, like my mother says, well, date a Japanese girl or Asian girl. And I'm like, well, hold on, Mom. If it's anything like living with you, I don't know if I want to do that. Because then it'd be like, well, somebody's going to be drinking the sake every day. But you know what I mean? Hi, Suze. Welcome in. But, you know, I look at like when my life starts getting back to normal, you know, I'm going to go to work, hopefully a 9 to 5, a couple days a week, everyday whatever job. No, it's not. Nobody's out. I'm just saying, in theory, right? And I tell you what, my nurses at the cancer center range from like 20 to 40, easy, or 20 to 45, maybe 50, easy. And there isn't a bad looking one of them. It's unreal. Like, you feel like you won the lottery and you're sitting in there like, oh my God, what am I doing in here? As a guy or female, it's like, holy crap, Like, it almost makes me want to date a nurse. It's like crazy, but which is good too. But anyway, yeah, like I haven't honestly thought about it. Well, nurses are very cute. But and I'm one of those suckers, right? Like, I'm one of those loyal guys, right? And whatever. So I feel like at a disadvantage. I feel like whoever dates me, they get the leg up on it, because they could have something wrong or bad, and I'd be the sucker who's loyal, like, oh yeah, all right, whatever, I don't care, I'll take care of it, and it's like, eh. But I haven't honestly thought about it. Like, I haven't thought of like, oh, well, who would I, what would I date, who would I date, age wise. And part of me says, well, just get friends, and a lot of times, sometimes just having a really good friend or companionship is more important than, getting tied down. But it depends, right? Like, I mean, it's my whole life concept or view kind of changes based on life. And this is like this conversation I had the other day, right? Like, I was talking about going back to work. Oh, I know who I was talking to. I was talking to Julian. Because we were talking about it, because he's kind of in the same boat as me. Had cancer and had, major surgeries. And he's trying to survive and get through. And I'm doing the same thing. Well, you always need the physical part, regardless of age. That's not relevant. But the thing is, like, say, for example, and you threw Molly in the equation, right? So if I was going to date somebody like Molly, I couldn't give you an answer today, because I would have to know how much time I have. I haven't gotten to that stage where they say, oh, you've got 20 years, or you got 5 years, or you've got a year. It really depends on what they tell me at the end of June after all these CT scans, if I've got time. Because I wouldn't want to get into a relationship with somebody where I'm not going to have time. If I'm only going to have a year left, well, then I'm selling my house and I'm traveling the world and doing my bucket list, right? If I have 5 years left, well, I'm probably selling my stuff, going to go live near my nieces and nephews so I can see family, because I'm a short timer. If I've got 20 to 30 years left, then it's like, well, then I can have a relationship with somebody and say, hey, look, I'm going to have a relationship with you, but I've got this amount of time. And when it's all said and done, you can have all my crap, but it's, you know what I mean? Well, yes, I understand that, but I would not feel comfortable dating somebody and then be like, I've only got a year, so let me hit it and I'm gone. You know what I mean? That wouldn't be me. That would go against everything that I've ever grown up to know, right? Of the person I am. I would still never betray the person I am to benefit from. And that's where, like, the loyal and honest part would hurt me, right? Because I'm that loyal and honest guy. I wouldn't be able to do that. But if somebody wanted, and somebody said, well, that's fine, blah, 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 and they knew that, and it was more of like, because of the companionship, and they wanted the nice relationship that way, and they knew, then it's fine. But they know, and At least they get to make the decision, not me make the decision, right? So like, I haven't thought of, you know, anything about dating or moving forward because I don't have a time frame. And once they give me the time frame, you know, like after the surgery, they said, oh, you got another 20, 30 years. And I'm like, perfect. You know, however, after this new stuff, they got to tell me again, I got 20 or 30 years, you know, which this is supposed to be precautionary, but part of me is freaking out thinking, oh, wait a minute, we're doing something more, you know, but I don't know. It's just me freaking out. Right. But it'd still be wrong. You know, I mean, who would want to get with a guy if they've only got a year left, right? I mean, that's kind of like, well, just sell your stuff, go to Amsterdam and live in the brothels because that's all you're going to get, you know? I mean, oh, okay. She's going back downstairs. Oh, she's going to the fridge. Christ's sakes. That makes number 3 in the last 20 minutes. No, I'm kidding. But you know what I mean? It's just one of those, you got to be honest, right? Or I got to be honest. You know what I mean? Patchwork sofa. When did I get that? This stinks so bad. Oh my lord, that's terrible. I didn't catch that? Oh, I didn't throw a ball in there. Wait, who are we giving this to? Steamer basket set? Let's send it to Dora. Dora's my buddy. He's not going to cook it. Yeah, but you know the answer to that question, Molly, why they know what the situation is? I'd have to get to know that person so they know what the situation is. They'd have to get to know me, and that takes time. If it's only a year, that's not going to function. You know, if it was 5 years, maybe. Oh. All right. God, I think I already have the purple one. Oh, I was going to mail that to Dora. Darn it. Oh, she's probably streaming. You streaming? You're probably streaming, right? Oh, I forgot her tail. Did that make sense, Molly, or not make sense? I don't know if you heard me, but... Like, you know, I'd have to put in time to get to know somebody, and if I don't have the time, it's kind of, that's not going to ever happen. And it would be, you know, and I would never pursue somebody because I'd feel like I'd be implying on them. But if they knew and they pursued me, that'd be a different story, right? Then it kind of sucks too, because I'm always going to be the designated driver. I'm always going to be, because I don't do that stuff anymore, or I can't do that stuff anymore. You know, that kind of thing too, right? I have certain limitations that, and it doesn't bother me. I'm a good dancer. I'm a great club person, but I just won't drink anymore. It's just not in it. You know, but there's things that change depending on the person, you know, whatever. Wine and dine, and why did my screen go black? My sound off? Yeah, we've only had one ad break in the time it took you to have 4. I'm keeping track, just so you know. When you say 1, I think somebody's double fisting them over there. And 21, you sure shot that age awfully low on me. Jesus, that's what you think of me? I was going to say 3 too. Part of me was going to say, yeah, 3. Yeah, and then you remember 21 and 21 is 42. So, you know, I have a pair. It's still old enough, so it works out just fine. I can do the math. I'm kidding. But, yeah, Giggy's getting a harem. That's the way that's gonna work, and I don't care what age. Just join the harem. We're gonna get a VW bus. Everybody pack in. Yeah, we're gonna go gypsy style. That's the way that it's going. Everybody get on the. I'll buy a school bus and convert it. Let's go. Party time. No, I'm kidding, but yeah. No, and I was just joking with your old. That don't take that any. I was just playing around. I think 25 might be the lowest I'd go, and that would be shooting it. But they'd have to be out of, like I said, they got to be out of university, had chance experience, whatever they need to experience, and I don't need to deal with that crap. And be able to have a conversation over dinner. Because I still look good, and I still feel good in a sports coat. I still can go out and do whatever. You've got to be able to have a conversation. It doesn't have to be about sports. It doesn't have to be about whatever, but you got to be able to carry a conversation. Not chewing your bubble gum, doing whatever. Well, that's what I said. Not necessarily, because there is the businesswoman who wants the family later, right? So then I become arm candy, right? So then that's fine. If you want the arm candy, I can be arm candy, no problem. I've already been arm candy. I've already been the pool boy. So it works fine. Because by the time they're 35, whatever, then they want the family. Well, I'm good. I'm still good with that. Well, there's that logic too, right? There's always that's always an interesting conversation. And then I look at my friend's dad, right? Who was in his 50s when he had kids because he did the business first. You know, so him growing up, like he didn't have his dad in his late 20s. He passed away in his 70s or whatever. I understand that, but it all depends because if I did have kids, I'd be in my 50s anyway. So, you know, to me, it depends on the situation, right? I'd be the stay-at-home dad. You know, at that point, free babysitter, get to stay at home. Maybe the wife wants to work. You know, it depends on the narrative, right? I couldn't honestly tell you. Me, I'm okay with kids at any age. I love children, so for me, I'm good with it. You know, if you're honestly asking me, I'm good with it at any age. I gotta go check to see if I have this shirt already. You know what I mean? Whether or not the woman can still have kids when I'm in my 50s is the question. And then would I date somebody my age? Yes. Would I date somebody slightly older? Maybe. Yes. You know, because I'm okay with that because my wife is older. So I'm okay with that. Do I know what I want in life? Not a clue. You know, I still have to wait on time. I'm still waiting to find out time. Once I find out time, then I'm good with what... Oh, they are the same. So technically, I could give this to... No, wait, put that back on. Can I just say World of Warcraft? That's my streaming answer, yes. But that's like this, right? Like, and I look at it like this. I'm a streamer. I sit and talk to people all day long. And if we're using Molly as the example, because I've known Molly the longest out of anybody in this channel, I've talked to Molly well over a year, right? Age to me with Molly, it wouldn't matter. I could care less how old she was. You know, we've had conversations, we've talked. You don't, age doesn't play, you know, into that equation. When you're talking to people, you don't ever think about things like that, right? So then, when you go to say, okay, well, let's actually meet the person, then that's when that variable comes into play. And it becomes whether or not that variable breaks you because it's too hard, you know, is 7 years one way too good, 7 years, what do they say, date half your age plus 7 or half your age less than 7 or 7 years from your age? I don't know what's acceptable anymore, what they say, right? But even then, so if you take, say, okay, 7 years high, 20 years low, or 20 years high, 7 years low, whatever, you know, that's all not relative, that's just a figure, right? It really becomes more of a lot of it plays into what other people think. Like, my wife's father great guy, loved me to death. Um, he just happy somebody's taking care of his daughter after all she's been through. And I inherited all the baggage, right? But I was okay with that. You know, Yeah, and then there's that too, right? I mean, it's all dependent on the person, whether or not you have kids or whether. But you may want them down the road, And right now, the way you seem to go, you seem to be more about the career and getting established and getting things you want before you worry about that extra necessity, right? And you should, because you're a very intelligent woman. You've got a great job, and you're going in the right direction. You just need to get off those liars who filling you full of crap. But like a relationship, it's more about the connection. I don't want to say spiritually or intellectually or whatever, but there's a connection between people, right? Like you bond with people a certain way, you feel something for somebody, and you have to have those electrical sparks, connections, whatever. And it doesn't matter the age of the person, I mean, crap. I mean, well, it could matter, because if you look at George Burns, he never found true love based on his lifestyle. But you look at, like, what was that model's name? She married Justin Verlander. Kate Upton. You look at Kate Upton. She was a young lady in her 20s, whatever. She married the baseball player Justin Upton, or Justin Verlander, and he's 20 years her senior, right? Age is a number. It doesn't matter. And they look like the best couple ever, It's really not relevant. It depends on the couple. But it also depends on other variables. Like, a lot of times it's family or friends that say, oh, no, you can't do A, B, and C, this and that. And that depends on the people, right? And I don't worry about any of that stuff because, in all fairness, life is short, right? You only get one shot at life. You either meet the right person or you don't. If you meet somebody you truly care about and love or whatever, and they're 30 years older than you or 20 years younger than you or whatever, so be it. Who cares? If you're happy, you're happy. It's one of those, why suffer dealing with society thinks, and it sucks, right? Yeah, you don't want to miss it. So if the chance comes, take it. And I'm more about the, even like we're sitting here and we're talking about what's been going on in Molly's world, right? And I know me and Bob go back and forth, and he always shoots to, oh yeah, he likes the stalker guy or whatever. And I'm more of the safety, no, that's a good person. Don't get them screwed up because dating an idiot, not gonna happen. Like I'm more of the protective, no, that's not gonna happen, kind of person, right? But Bob and I are both in the same scenarios, that we found love and we found, wouldn't give it up for the world, but we're in two different places, right? Like I had mine taken away from me. He gets to have his, and now I've got to start over and figure out how to go. And it's crazy too, because you talk to a therapist or whatever, and they're like, oh yeah, you're young, you've got all this life to live. And it's like, lady, I don't even know how to get on the horse. It's like, hold on here. I got to back up and say, do I got to go to the bar and meet people? Do I have to go to a library? Do I have to look in an online dating service? I mean, I have no idea how it works, right? And that's where it's like half the time it's like, oh, my friend says she's got a sister. It's like, okay, hold on, hey, great, let's do that. I have no idea, right? So it's like, part of me is like, I don't care. I'm just gonna take a walk around the block, run into somebody great, not know well, whatever. I don't know. I haven't thought about it. I really haven't. I just got to get better before I figure it out. Well, thank you. It's probably going to be a lot harder than you think, but thank you. because I don't have a social network of people that I go and hang out with. So I'd rather, you know, it depends on the job I take too. I mean, because I can do anything at this point. Part of me is like, hey man, go work the McDonald's morning crew. You know, you get to go in at 5 and go home by 2 p.m. It's like perfect. Oh yeah, I'm taking a new job for sure. You know, I might want to take a part-time job. I haven't thought that part through, right? Because that's another one where it's based on a time stamp. I can't take a job if I've got a year left or 6 months left, right? Because then it's like, oh, I got to get all my affairs in order. You know, it really depends on that time frame. If they say, oh, you got 20 years, perfect. You know, you got 5 years, you know, hey, you got 30 days. You know, going to the store and buying some stuff I shouldn't be having, you know. Easy. What do you mean how I'm making the bills? I'm paying them every month. Yeah, accountant. No debt. No payments. Just utility. I make it fine every month. I don't, and that's what I mean. Like all my money is tied into my house. I sell it, it's just free cash. I don't owe anything on anything. Cars paid for, house paid for, everything's paid off. I own nothing. You know, accountant, right? That's why I say, like, math and numbers, it drives me crazy. I don't. So if I take a part-time job, as long as it pays the utilities, I don't care. You know what I mean? Hell, I mean, even in that situation, Molly can pay the utilities. Don't care. There's nothing, and everything else is a bonus. You know, it's, and that's what I mean. Like, I am the catch in that sense, but I'm also the one that's going to be easily taken advantage of. Right? You know what I mean? So it's that scenario, like, and I tell people too, and the number one thing I get so pissed off with the education system is, by God, teach kids compound interest, teach them mortgages. That's all you need to teach for math. Screw that other crap they're never going to use. They're not going to use that crap ever. I mean, and look at Molly, for example. She's in a great computer job, right? All the math she ever learned in high school, she isn't using one lick of it. She did not need geometry. She did not need any of the crap she learned. Don't teach those kids that worthless crap. It's worthless. Oh, I can do bookkeeping from home any day of the week. Yep. Yep. I can do taxes. Yep. I have my own QuickBooks accounts. Yep. I used to be I used to run and be treasurer for a charity for the last 7 years. I do whatever. I don't, you know, but that's what I mean, right? I can do whatever. But part of me is like, well, I may want to go out and meet people. So then I might want to take that job at, say, Michael's, right? I want to work at a craft store. I want to get a discount on my art supplies. You know, I want to do A, B, you know, A, B, and C. I want to meet people. I might want to go flip burgers or make cookies. I mean, part of me saying, oh, take a baking course, go back and work in a bakery. That might be fun. You know, like, I want to do something that's going to be like, keep me interested. I may go back and take a computer job, because I've been talking to a couple people who say, oh yeah, go do this. And so I may take a couple, you know, Azure certifications really quick and you know, like, I'm at the point now where it's just like, just have fun. You know, work 10 more years. Make sure you qualify for your pensions, you know, have enough time in. You know, you're already getting, I don't know, what do you call it? Social Security, whatever. You know, make sure you get enough in for that and whatever, right? Don't care. And it's all dependent on time, right? So if they tell me 20 years, yeah, I'll go work 10 years, take 10 years off. You know, if they tell me I got 5 years, well, let's think about that. I might work a couple years, but then I'm traveling and partying. It's all dependent on time, right? But again, I'm a streamer, so ideally, somebody who could, is okay with me doing that because, I'm a computer guy, so I sit at my desk all day. So if I go to work, I may sit at my desk and stream all night, but I don't know what a phlebotomist is. I've heard that term and I don't know what that is. That's not the toe person, right? Like toenails and junk? Crap, you're gonna make me look that up. Oh, draws your blood. Yeah, see, I might want to go do that and say, hey, let me go do that for a while. Let me take a course. I've even thought about saying, well, let me go get my master's degree and just do this, or go teach at the junior college. I mean, I haven't really planned it because I've been sick for so long and dealing with death for so long. I've been out of the game for years now. And now it's like, hey, Mr. Giggy, you're going to have 20 more years. You get to start fresh. You're healthy. It's like, perfect. Let's do it. Let's figure it out. I'm getting a new lightsaber. I'm going to Disney. I'm going to, travel overseas. I'm going to go see things. I'm going to do what I want to do, I'm not going to worry about the crap, right? My credit card's empty. If I charge it up today, I'll pay it off tomorrow. It's no big deal. I don't care. And that's what, it's funny because it's people like are always like, like everybody I talk to, and people who come into my channel, other streamers or whatever, says, you're so positive, you have a great outlook on life. Well, that's all you have. There's no point of being negative, like you're down. If you're sick, you have something wrong with you. It's not an end of the world scenario, right? Well, for me, it was. Okay, let me rephrase that. It was, but I in my head, I was kind of clueless. I think I didn't quite put two and two together. Like I didn't realize that if I did not have surgery, because like if my tumor didn't shrink small enough so I could have surgery, I had 6 months. That thought process never went in my head, right? Until after I talked to my brother before I had surgery. He said, and then I was like, let me think about that for a minute. Like, oh crap, you're actually right. If I couldn't have surgery, I wouldn't be here. Literally, if I didn't have surgery in December, I wouldn't be here today. Right? But I was positive throughout the whole thing. I mean, you can ask Molly. She probably watched it. She could probably say, yeah, he was pretty positive, or he's lying, he's full of crap, whatever. But she can tell you, because everybody watched because I streamed as much as possible. I streamed last year 290 days. So my whole time of being sick is documented. You can go back through my YouTube videos and pick out any day of the year and look at, like, when you look at the beginning, my big round fat face, and then look at me in June when I lost 60 pounds. Totally different. And you can see the progression of like, oh, this guy's choking to death, barely making it through, can't eat, always sick. I was dying. I was actively dying, but I was still positive. Like it didn't clue into me. Because I looked at it like, okay, I'm sick, whatever, I'm going to get through it. No big deal. It's like having a cold. That's the way my head probably processed it, or I was numb to it because I dealt with it, the death part of it, earlier. But yeah. So I've always been, and I'm always a happy-go-lucky guy. I'm like that California beach bum, right? Surf guy. It's like, man, I don't care. It's not going to kill me. I'm going to get through it. I don't care. I mean, I broke my back cliff diving. I didn't realize my back was broken. I still trucked through it. My back is still broken, but I trucked through it, no problem. Like, no, we keep going. It's like, whatever, right? Don't worry. Yeah, I was cliff diving off a cliff at 75 feet. I landed flat feet in water and I broke my back. The free 4 vertebrae. And I've been walking around 20 years, something like that, and didn't know until somebody took an x-ray and said, hey, you know your back is broken? And they said, it's fine now because it's fused, whatever, but you might have to have surgery 20, 30 years from now. And I'm like, okay. No, I didn't have a life vest on. We were cliff diving. Why didn't I need a life vest on? I was young and stupid. All my friends were jumping. I jumped too, and I laid in the bottom of that boat like I busted my crap and didn't realize I broke my back. I thought it's been sciatica over the years. No, it's been a broken back. But, you know, you do stupid stuff, right? As a kid, right? But, you know, I look at life and it's, you know, it's positive, right? I mean, it's get up every day, smell the flowers, enjoy the birds. Berryessa in California. I want to say it's higher than 75 feet, but yeah, we were stupid. Or I was stupid. It was either jump or get pushed, and I jumped, and then right before the water, I flattened my feet because I panicked, and oh my God, did that ever hurt? I don't fall well, let's just say. But yeah, you know, but I'm perfectly fine. Like I get up, I exercise, I do what I'm supposed to do, I eat healthy enough. You know, like today I got up and I walked 2.5 kilometers, right? Like, you know, it's like, no, I'm going to get back to walking 7 miles a day. I'm going to get back to being healthy, you know. I'm going to go back to being X, Y, and Z. I'm not going to sit here and let people kick me. I'm not going to let people walk all over me. I'm not going to let the world treat me the way it does. I'm going to be fine. Yeah, I'll give you money, baby. What's up, Gladys? You want to buy a book? 4-part romance novel. Got it. I hear this story all the time. You need a couple bucks. Yes, I will give it to you. Yes, I will give you some money. Here you go. Like I do this a lot, Gladys. Don't worry. You are my girls. I'll take care of you. Yeah, I'd love to find out what my spirit animal is. And I'd go on a vision quest, and I'd do, you know, I have no problem doing whatever, right? I always grew up and I'm a spiritual person. I believe in a lot of things. Because the world is there's too much unknown for me to be blinded by, or spirit guide, animal, either one. I would like to think my spirit guide is whichever bird that comes to my second story window here in my office and pounds on it every day when I'm in here to kind of, you know, just kind of. Yeah, I got cardinals all day. I was looking at a couple cardinals today. You know, I tell you, I've got on my front door, I've got one of those baskets that hang, and I've got a bird's nest in the basket with a couple eggs in it. They're like nesting inside my front door hanging ornament, which is so cool. And I want to say it's a robin, but I'm not 100% sure. I haven't seen the mother bird in there. But the eggs are blue. I should take a picture and post that. I'll do that tomorrow. I'll post the pictures because I took some pictures. I just haven't posted it yet. Yeah, I have like 3 families of cardinals. I've got an overgrown rhododendron in the front of my house covering half of a window. And from the inside of that window, there's a bird nest right on the ledge. I'm not I was gonna go out and hard prune all of them this spring. Not doing it till fall because I've got birds nesting in my bushes, so I'm not messing with them. I've got cardinals all over. You know, like today, I was sitting on my deck, just sitting there, you know, enjoying the sun because it was nice and hot. you know, I've got goldfinches, American finches, whatever, you know, robins. I got a feeder probably 7 feet from me, mourning doves. No, this stream application stopped.